This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my final recap for Andor Season 1. Sorry that this took, I think it's like a month and a half longer than when the show ended, but with it, I just really haven't had that much time to go and record videos, and I wanted to make sure I did this video right because those last two episodes really were great, and I enjoyed the second one a lot more. I do have the reviews up already. But with the recap, I wanted to make sure I got them right. And with it, I will be looking through the events of the last two episodes. And with the Bad Batch, I should be a lot better with it. And I will probably be able to get it done either on the day or the day after, since I have just a lot more time right now. And with it, just honestly, with, as I said, school, work, and the holidays, I just have not had the time to get these done because I was either busy with that or had some holiday specific videos I wanted to get out. And yeah, let's just go into this. Cassian and Melshi, after managing to escape from the prison, are still looking to find their way out, climbing up mountains, avoiding patrols, so they could find a way off the planet. Back on Ferrix, Marva has passed away, and at the same time, Cassian and Melshi see a quad jumper where there is a few aliens by it, and they go to try and steal it. But they are quickly captured by the owners who decide to have mercy on them and fly them back to Neamos. And back on Coruscant, Vel goes to visit Luthen, although he's not there. She goes and passes on the information that Cassian's mother has passed away. Meanwhile, Bix continues to be threatened with torture as she is asked if Krieger was her contact. And Vel goes to meet with Mon Mothma, who is her cousin. They discuss the financing problems that Mon is having with hiding the money she's using to fund the rebellion. Back with Cyril, he is contacted by his friend Mosk, and with it he tells him that Cassian's mother has passed away and he is most likely going to be returning to Ferrix. Back in Neamos, Cassian is able to go and get his equipment back and all the money he got from the Aldani heist. Luthen goes to visit with Saw Gerrera, telling him that the mission is off and he knows that Krieger is about to be taken out by the Imperials. With it, Saw begins to argue with him, wondering why he wants to be protecting him and realizes that he's one of the only people that could tie Luthen to the rebellion, and with it, Saw ultimately agrees not to go onto this and lets Krieger be sacrificed. While trying to leave, Luthen is intercepted by an Imperial ship. The ship begins to attack him, and he is forced to use the various weapons on the ship to escape from it and not be questioned at all. With it, after escaping, Luthen is in contact and decides to go to Ferrix to try and intercept Cassian. With his first chance he gets, Cassian is able to go and contact back to Ferrix to see how his mother is. After learning that she has died, he goes back to Melshi, and Melshi wants to go and let people know of what has happened with the prison. Cassian gives him a blaster and goes to travel to Ferrix to attend his mother's funeral. Everyone begins to ascend on Ferrix, with Deidre landing there with an escort of death troopers. Cyril arrives with his friend. Cassian manages to arrive, and many of the other people, like Vel and Luthen, also arrive. Cassian goes to visit Bix and is quickly surprised to learn that she has been taken by the Imperials and is being tortured by them. And back at the main facility, Deidre goes and begins to look at the plans for them to capture Cassian and makes it clear he needs to be taken alive. Back on Coruscant, Mon goes to argue with Perrin and sets up a scenario where she says that he is still gambling to help cover the fact that she is using her money to fund the rebellion, making their driver, which she knows is an ISB mole, be able to think that the missing money from her account is being used by Perrin. Luthen goes to Vel to go and tell her of his plan to let the Imperials capture Cassian and then to assassinate him as he's being brought to the hotel. Cassian meets up with Brasso, who goes and tells him everything that his mother told him to tell him after she knew she wasn't going to be making it. And with it, Cassian is very touched with it and decides to go and rescue Bix. The people of Ferrix go and begin Marva's funeral early. With it, they all begin to converge down the street in a group larger than was permitted by the Imperials to honor Marva and all she has done. With it, Cassian, watching and from a hidden location, goes and begins to execute his plan to break into the hotel to rescue Bix. The Imperials are sent out and are forced to try and go up against the people of Ferrix, as they have done this earlier than they were supposed to. In the middle of Rix Road, they have blocked the people off from going any further as B2 comes up and begins to project a message from Marva. With it, she begins to explain everything and begins to speak of her beliefs of how the Empire is a major threat, and with it, as everyone listens, she tells the people to rise up against the Empire and to take it down, knowing that even though she is dead, that they need to fight on and use this to go and fight for their freedom and rights. Knocking over B2 to try and stop this, the people of Ferrix rise up and begin to attack the Imperials using anything they can, including the brick that Marva was turned into, to begin an uprising against the Empire. Managing to make it into Vix's cell, Cassian goes and eventually convinces her to be able to escape, seeing that she has been broken. And back on the streets, the Imperials are being overrun by the people who are fighting with a true passion, and Deidre is knocked down and is nearly going to be beaten to death when someone goes up to her, pulls her up, and uses her blaster to move her away, bringing her inside of a building. She quickly sees that it is Cyril who has used this opportunity to rescue her. Chaos continues throughout barracks, bombs go off, shootouts happen with the Imperials, and events just get so much more crazy. With it, they eventually get to a point where some of the people are trying to escape from the planet, and Cassian manages to go and get Bix to some of his allies as he goes off to confront Luthen. Back on Coruscant, Mon is forced to make the decision where she is having to go and present her daughter to Evo's family. And although she is clearly devastated by this, she knows that this is the only way to protect the rebellion. Finally, back on Ferrix, Cassian breaks into Luthen's ship and confronts him. With it, he tells Luthen that if he wants to, he could kill him, or he could take him in to join the rebellion. Above the world of Scarif, it is shown that the parts made inside of the prison have been used to construct the Death Star's super laser. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.